thank you, RiverArts, for hosting this event, the Pat Nielsen Poetry Contest. I can tell you, I just want to comment a little bit about Pat and her husband, Ed. I should say the late Pat Nielsen. Ed and Pat were founding board members of the Chester River Association, and they were just driving forces through those days, which eventually led to, the Shore Rivers to where it is today. But Pat, so in addition to her being a driving force for the River Association, she also was just a lover of nature and the river, and she was a writer and she was a poet. And so she would love, and she kind of, started this in the very early days. And so she would love that we're continuing to do this. So I want to thank Ed Nielsen for continuing to sponsor this. He's not with us tonight, but he's looking forward to watching it at a later time. And then Shore Rivers is one of our sponsors as well. And I don't know if there's anyone here from Shore Rivers.
Just your Riverkeeper, Tim. We've got.
There you go.
And I think I saw Connor Liu on here as well. Hi, Andy.
Hi.
And
so,
Rebecca Hawk, I think, is here too.
And so if any of you guys just want to say anything on behalf of Shore Rivers, please do so now.
I already unmuted myself, so unless anyone else wants to jump in, I'll just say that it's an honor to participate in this event, and I'm just so happy with what the Nielsens and the others started so many years ago. Before I was involved, when I was just a little kid, they were out there thinking about our rivers and really setting the stage for some of the tremendous work that we've been able to do and accomplish over the past few years. And it's great. We have such a strong appreciation and nexus with the art community here in Chestertown, thanks to the Nielsens, thanks to people like Meredith, who was a longtime board member, and Marcy Ramsey and all these other folks that most of you guys know. So we're happy to be here, happy to support this event, and happy to keep chugging along and improving water quality and protecting our rivers.
Great, thanks, Tim. So, and then another sponsor would be Echo Hill Outdoor School. And I am an associate director at Echo Hill Outdoor School, and as well as the curator for this poetry contest this year. But I just want to say that the outdoor school has been doing programs on the Chester River since 1979. We've been doing experiences on the river for children on Chesapeake Bay historic vessels and canoes. So for us, it's always been about camping and observing wildlife and having authentic Chesapeake experiences. And I just, the river is so important to us. So we're thrilled to be here as sponsors. So I also just want to say a little bit about how the contest went this year. We had 73 submissions in the adult category, which I don't know how it compares to other years, but for me, it was kind of overwhelming. My job as curator was to narrow that down to what I believe to be the top 10. So if you're out there and you didn't make it into the top 10, it's because for me, I made the selections that worked the best for me. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best poems. They're just the ones that work the best for me. And then I pass them on to our judge, Dennis Forney. Dennis is a native of Chestertown. He lives in Lewis now with his wife, and he was a founding editor and publisher of the Cape Gazette, and he's been writing just his whole career. He went to Oberlin and studied poetry there and literature, and he's just been a big fan of the arts his entire life. And so I'm thrilled that Dennis uh, um, was our judge this year, and I think he made terrific selections. I'm thrilled about it. So where do we go now, Sue? Let's see.
We will just start with the kids, I think, and start introducing in order that I've got the poems. Mariah, if you could bring them up. We're going to share the screen so you can read the poem as the, as the poet is reading their poetry.
And just so folks know, there were, I think there were 21 submissions in this category, and I pared it down to 4 and then passed them on to Dennis, and he selected the first.
Okay, so is Aidan Dunlap here?
Don't think I've seen that name on the list, so we may need somebody to read. Andy, are you planning to read if the poet isn't here?
I wasn't counting on that, but I'm happy to.
That would be great. I'm sorry about my barking dog.
That's fine. Change by Aidan Dunlap. Waves crash onto the sandy shore, leaving marine debris in their wake. Bears eat. Among the trees, as a chainsaw roars in the distance, deer bound throughout the meadow. As a wildfire blazes, fish school around the reef. As the ocean warms, we must work to make a better earth. We must work to have a better future.
I love it. Okay, so we will then, I guess, move on to the next one.
I hope I'm not cold reading all of these poems.
I believe we may have a Trumbauer here to read.
Hi. Imagine what the world would be like if there were no sharks or lemurs or any animal that you like. Imagine never seeing it again. Let's hope all hope is not lost, but we can save it. I feel sorry for those species I have never seen. I feel sorry for those species I will never see again. I have hope that they can be saved from extinction.
Very nice.
Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, I believe that we have, is it Nyan?
Yes.
We have, welcome.
My science story. Collecting water samples from the depths of the bay, where plant life sways and microbes pulsate in subtle currents. Deciphering what the mystery substance is in an experiment. What is its hue? What is its consistency? What are its properties? Reciting all the bones in the body. Cranium, mandible, clavicle, ulna, radius, tibia, fibula. Keenly examining vivid marine life, spider crabs, striped bass, bluefish, lobsters, and menhaden. Meticulously recording fingerprints, methodically following the intricate patterns without overlooking any ridge or curve. Peering at hair samples through the transparent lens of a microscope. Selective strands of animal fur, collective varieties of human pili. Countless unsolved mysteries in science. Who or what else dwells in the vast galaxy? What life lurks in the ebony depths of the Mariana Trench? How do we cure cancer? Anyone is capable of discovering the profound answers to these ambitious questions. It could take a lifetime of dedicated research, or even an epiphany. It could be a world-renowned, experienced scientist, or it could be the person sitting right next to you. In science, anything is possible. My science story has changed me as a person by teaching me to find beauty in differences, to observe the most minuscule details, and to value nature as a companion. My science story has only just begun.
Wow.
May I ask a question? maybe I'm the only person that doesn't know this, but what is a menhaden?
Oh, it's a type of fish.
Thank you. I love that poem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now is Ellen here? I
Yes.
think I saw Ellen. Great.
Nature's mother. She moves as the wind. Flowers spring up in her footprints and pepper her presence. Birds sing her praises as they fly around her wrist. A million golden stars twinkle in her ocean blue eyes. Her laugh is a mosaic of gentle summer breezes. Her smile a joyful parabola of buttery sunshine. Her hair twists and turns and gathers and tumbles, a shimmering river flowing freely. Orange and red oak leaves ring her neck, and garlands of ivy trace her ankles. With her strong hands she protects us, and with our everyday actions we must return the favor.
Lovely. Okay, I will stop sharing the screen for the moment.
Those were the 15 and under student entries. And I just wanted to let everybody know that all the judging and all the jurying was done blindly. There, there was no names attached to the poems. So you wondered how it was done. And the winner is Mr. McCown.
The winner is, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but the poem is Nature's Mother. So Ellen just read that poem. And Ellen, I'd like to read what Dennis Forney, our judge, he wrote a comment about his selection there. So I'd just like to read that. He goes, my choice for best of middle school poems is Nature's Mother. Convincing imagery, nice use of language, and it left me feeling good and wanting to do more to preserve, enhance, and appreciate nature's mystery and beauty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That was a lovely poem. And, one thing we didn't sort of ask our student poets to mention is where they're from and maybe who their teacher is. So maybe we can go back and do that.
That'd be great.
It looks like Aiden, who isn't here, is from Radcliffe Creek School, and his teacher's name is Julie Blyman, and he is in 8th grade.
So 4 finalists.
So how about Alita, would you tell us where you're from and who your teacher is?
I'm from Radcliffe Creek School too, and my teacher was Mr. Orr.
And you have a very cute cat.
Yes, this is my kitty cat. We have this in birthday.
All right. Okay, and then who's next? Nyan, how about you?
I go to the Episcopal Academy.
Great. And
Thank
and
you,
then
Ellen.
Julie.
Ellen.
I'm sorry, not Ellen. Sorry.
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I go to Roland Park Country School, and my teacher is Miss Schultz.
Nice. Thank you, Ellen.
And thank you all the students for submitting such fantastic poems.
Indeed. All right.
Okay,
So Sue, what's next?
Next, we'll start with the adult poetry, and we're going to read them they're actually put on the website in alphabetical order by title, so that's the order we'll read them in, and we'll call your name and let you read your poem. You want to bring them up? So I don't know if Linda Roy Walls is here. Doesn't look like it. Andrew, do you want to read another one or shall I? I'm not a good reader.
Um, I'm really at, I'd love to make it a little bigger, to tell you the truth.
Let's see if I can manage that.
Okay. Oh, that's great. I could do that. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Bird Wisdom by Linda Roy Walls. Those plastic bags dance across green soybean fields without a care. They wreak havoc, assaulting the landscape with unnatural colors of blue and Dollar General yellow. Sometimes they crowd the street drains, preventing the rainwater from making its way back to the bay. Eventually, those bags hitchhike to our mid-Atlantic Ocean, breaking into smaller, indigestible pieces, slowly killing the creatures who were seduced by flecks of light. Those bags are ornery. Just when we think we have them captive, they slip away, far away into the dark, and settle in the tree canopy of the park or in the beak of a lark, only to reappear along the highway as we drive by, gazing out the window, oblivious to how they keep reproducing and how they tend to keep company with other light-constructed objects we carelessly demand, then toss in the trash, out of the car, off the boat, or down on the ground. I watch an osprey clutch a white plastic bag in its talons and root to its nest while humans scurry on the earth below, on their way to or from generating more plastic trash, and I realize even bird brains recycle.
Ready? Okay.
There you have it, Bird Wisdom.
Blessing the Deer.
Hi.
Hi.
Is there anything I should say other than reading it, or just read it?
You can say something else if you have something you want to tell us.
No. Blessing the Deer. Oh dear, come back soon. Do not linger too long in oblivion. You turn in a flash of pale fur to break the cold shorn fields under hoof. The yellow stubble of the corn whispered of your passing. I looked into the dark and I saw you there, striding into the night trees. Oh dear, go with care. Tread lightly through the silent forests where the hunters hide. Be swift over the sleepless highway. Many would see you gutted for fun, your flesh left out for the black flies. If you see them and you're walking, tell the buffalo I say hello. Let the wolves have a good chase as you pass through. Warm yourself in the light of an ancient sun, and if you have time, bring back the silt of the long dead river. Leave it caked in your fetlocks so I may spread it on my garden. I will look for you when the soft yawn of spring stretches the cold from the earth, and you may come again, leaping the green, full of stories from all the places where my bloody kin and I can never follow.
Very nice.
Next one is Borrowing by Mary McCoy.
Borrowing. Borrowing comforts, warmth and coolness, berries in the wintertime, far distances no longer daunting. The turning year indifferent makes chaos of our hankering for unbroken abundance and continuity. So inadvertently, we make chaos too. Borrowing from the future and the future's future. Yet somehow aghast as nature, thrown out of kilter, shifts, and dares to sort herself out again.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay, so the next is Church Music by Patricia Camerzel. Sorry if I mispronounce anybody's name. Patricia, are you here? I guess not.
My name is Patricia. I could read it.
That would be great.
Do.
Okay. Church Music by Patricia Camerzel. There was a symphony at my church today. Songbirds led the soprano choir. Peepers shared rhythms, and a bullfrog plucked a funny chord. Gadong. The crescendo came from a peahen's yowl, then a staccato thrum from a woodpecker, ill-timed but pleasing. Others drive through my church above posted speeds, offering a bottle or can or two. I don't think they are members of my church yet.
Thank you for reading.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next one's title is Daylight Savings Time is Over and We Have Saved Nothing by Mary Hennessy. Mary, are you here?
I am. Can you hear me? Daylight savings time is over, and we have saved nothing. The epigraph is from Isaiah, soar like doves. Trumpet vine threatens to realign gutters. Its orange bugles make music for bird ears only. The morning, still half dark, is raining. Standing on the porch at ease, without broom or task, I see that the beautyberry is untouched. Strange. It is the staying, not the leaving, that spells loss. For all the years, mockingbirds and their swagger ruled the neighborhood. They used to make such a mess of things at the moment of buried climax. I wipe my eyes on my sleeve and decide on a new bird bath, one with an electric heater. Maybe they will come home. The birds are, always were, the point of things.
Thank you.
So the next poem we have is House Moving by Mary McCoy.
Back. House moving. I take photos of the swollen river, scary close to our house, and send them off to the emergency management planner in the Special Ops Division, county level, state, federal. They'll consider our situation, weigh it against the situations of others whose homes likewise are at risk. In 2 years' time, they may decide to give us partial funding for the cost to move our house to higher ground, away from the river, away from the trees that have shaded me all my life, away from the lilacs my grandmother planted nearly a century ago. I send these photos already knowing the look of bewilderment that our house will bear, perched up there by the green cornfield.
Okay, so the next poem's title is Ode of the Traumatized, Streetwise, Ecologically Minded Butterfly by Carol Casey. Carol, are you here?
Hold on. Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Thank you.
Okay, this is actually a song, and I'm not a very good singer, but I'll do my best. Ode of the Traumatized, Streetwise, Ecologically Minded Butterfly. I am the monarch of the glen, of the field and of the fen. Look on me, but kill, don't dare. I am the monarch of the air. Get that Roundup out my face. You know milkweed has a place in my world and yes, in yours. Maybe you should stay indoors, watching Netflix all day long, letting nature sing her song. Without poison we will thrive and keep Mother Earth alive. I am the monarch of the glen, of the field and of the fen. Look on me, but kill, don't dare. I am the monarch of the air.
That was amazing. Thank you. Okay, so the next poem's title is Summer Shower by Sylvia Freeman.
And I'm here. Summer shower. The hickory tree looks superficial in a sudden summer shower. Cut out cardboard as if for a stage. Sun shower accentuates thick outlines enclosing too much light to be rough textured bark. I'm caught up in the moment, believing what I see instead of what I know about this tree I've watched for over 20 years. Raked yellow leaves into mounds under it, while squirrels scampered on the branches, sprinkled seeds around the roots for winter birds, driven fertilizer stakes into the ground so tender spring shoots unwind in fullness for robins to build their hidden nests. I know this tree is real and round, and yet, considering the scene in front of me, can't help but wonder if I'm a cutout too. An ever-changing idea still to be realized in a world shimmering with green summer rain, a world where anything is possible.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the next poem up is The Bishop's Garden Bench by James Wood.
Bishop's Garden Bench, National Cathedral, Washington, D.C. It is safe here for now, under arched keystones. Falling water drowns city noise. Teak arms for me to rest, mine, smoothed by others, seeking peace here. Cypress branches crisscross the sky. Gothic spires reach higher, beyond man's grasp. Cicadas sing their song.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mariah, can you move down just a bit? There we go.
Okay, so I'm up again.
The Tree Which Moves
Okay.
by Sylvia Freeman.
And the epigraph is from Blake. The tree which moves some to tears of joy is in the eyes of others only a green thing which stands in the way. And so they cleared the trees, made way for torrential rains to pour through wasted green, called it progress. But I heard tree spirits cry, ghostly voices in the night, searching for a place to sleep safe in leafy arms. One tree still stands at the edge of barren land, crushed stalks, rocky soil. Perhaps this oak, the tree of doors in Celtic myth, will give tree spirits rest between the worlds of legend and reality. Let them live in roots and branches and never think of men who cannot know the souls of trees.
Thank you. Wow, those were all amazing.
Thank you all so much for reading. I really, it's so different to hear the poets read than to just read them myself. And I did not know that we were going to be getting the treat of a song. I think Shore Rivers might have a new anthem.
Well, do we want to find out who our first, second, and third place winners are?
Yes, please.
Okay. You know, I have to say, hearing the authors read the poems definitely is quite an experience for me. You know, I spent a lot of time with all the poems. As you can imagine, taking 73 submissions and narrowing it down to what you think are your top 10. And of course, there's just no clue as to who wrote them or what the profile of the individuals who wrote them are like. And so I have to say that it's interesting for me with this first or this third place winner, because for me in my mind, it wasn't a song, it was a rap. And I envisioned a feisty college kid had written this poem. And so, yes, Ode of the Traumatized Streetwise Ecological-Minded Butterfly is the third place winner. And I want to read what Dennis wrote for that selection. And someday I'll have to work on my rap for it because you guys are just going to have to hear it. So we may have a New Shore River song and a New Shore Rivers rap at the same time. And I'm not a rapper. But Dennis simply wrote sweet, fun song and dance and a visceral message of the fragility of the monarch of the air. And that was his comment. So congratulations. Thank you so much, Mary Hennessy. Excuse me, Carol Casey. So
thank you.
Congratulations and thank you so much, Carol. And I
Thank
hope
you very much.
offended that I thought it was a rap.
Oh, not in the least. Had I known, I would have tried to rap.
I just want to say your singing is a lot better than you think.
Well, I hope it is. I don't think very much of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope to sing along or rap along to that sometime in a big group.
So the second place poem is Summer Shower by Sylvia Freeman. And so I'd love to read what Dennis said about this poem. He says, great imagery, color, and feel, the wetness of the shower on dark hickory bark. I like the multi-dimensional too, the cutouts and different perspectives from 3 versus 2 dimensions. So thank you for a fabulous poem.
Thank you so much.
Which brings us to our first place winner. I got to tell you, I spent a lot of time with this particular poem. I've, you know, like Dennis, of course, all Dennis knew when I passed the poems on to him were that these were the top 10 selections for me. He didn't know which ones I favored out of that top 10. But I can tell you this was my favorite poem. I spent a lot of time with this poem. And these are Dennis's comments about this poem. He says, I found this the most lyrical and provocative, and I liked its rhythm, especially the solitary placement of strange that took me to a reflective and dreamlike corner of the middle I hadn't expected. And it wrapped up so neatly at the end. The hardware store practicality of the bird bath heater image awoke and prepared me for the coup de grace. This poem bears reading several times to unlock all of its doors. Nicely crafted. So thank you, Mary Hennessy, for that fabulous, fabulous poem.
Thank you to everyone, and congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do think, you know, we have some time at this point, and I would love if there are comments or questions that anybody would like to address to the poets, or anything anybody would like to kind of say in a discussion would be really great.
I just wanted to do a shout out for both Andy and Dennis, because I have no idea how they made these choices, because I looked at them all and they are just amazing. And it's a shame we couldn't have put them all up on the website, because they were all really nice poems. So thank you everybody for submitting them. And thank you, Andy, for whittling it down to 10. That was tough.
Yeah, it's quite a process. You know, it takes about 8 kitchen tables.
And I think that we are going to do the People's Choice voting for this exhibit as well. And so you can vote for your favorite in the comments of the exhibit page on our website, and we will announce that winner next week.
Now, I'd like to ask a question. Of course, we have to do it online because of the situation, but how, when it was originally conceived, you were going to put the poems with particular pieces of art. Is that true? Is that the way you were going to, you know, stage the exhibit?
We used to, in the past, we've hung the exhibit and interspersed the poetry
with the art.
With the art, and we tried to do that, and the poems were kind of lost, so we decided to separate them out so they could get more focus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking forward to seeing, you know, like we all were, of course. What can you do? But it would have been really nice to stroll through that gallery and see, you know, the art and the poems. I just sort of envisioned that. So
it really is nice. I mean, last year was fabulous. So you're right, and we hope to be able to get back to that next year.
But I understand why you had to do it online. Everything's online right now. So, but thank you again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we really didn't want to make all of you and all of our visual artists wait any longer than you already have, because I know you submitted your work so long ago, and you know, we were just almost ready to get it up on the walls when we had to close the doors. So I'm glad that we were able to do this.
Yeah, me too. It's really nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Really terrific.
And Mariah, did you say that there is a mechanism for voting for the People's Choice Award for the poetry?
Yes, so if you go to the exhibit page on the website and you scroll down, you can leave a comment at the bottom and just leave your vote in the comments, and we'll tally them up and announce the winner at some point next week. I don't think we've chosen the day yet. So
it may be in the Daily Dose on the following Monday, but we'll post it online sometime the end of next week.
Okay, I don't think people will know to do that unless there's some language indicating that you can do that in the comments. But anyway,
yeah, we'll let people know in as many ways as we can, and please let your friends know so to go and vote for you, hopefully, or whoever they want to.
Great.
Yeah, share the word.
Yes. And you can also go and look at the visual art and vote in the visual art exhibit as well. So that will be an opportunity. You won't be able to see them side by side like you would have in the gallery, but it will give you kind of an excuse to go and look at both pieces of the exhibit, and you can imagine which poems you would have put next to which pieces of visual art in the gallery.
And we also have the visual art award winners posted online as well, which is what we'll do with the poetry winners. We'll post them right on the webpage so everybody can see who won. So, okay, well, thank you, everybody.
It looks like maybe Patty has something to say.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Will the People's Choice be from all of the poems and all of the artwork, or just from the top 10?
The People's Choice Award will be of all the poems submitted, which will be the top 10 adults and the top 4 of the students. They are separate from the Visual Art Awards. So the visual art will get an award and the poetry will get a People's Choice Award.
But Sue, just to be clear, it's only the 10 finalists. So not all the poetry submitted, but all the finalist poems.
Yeah, the top 10 finalists of the adults and the top 4 of the students.
Right, got it, thank you.
Oh, okay. So it's not from every poem and every piece of artwork?
No, just because we didn't have the capacity to put them all up there. So yeah, and I mean, normally we don't do that anyway, even in the gallery show. It's just the top finalists.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just give a shout out to Pat Nielsen. She was so wonderful and lovely, and helped start Shore Rivers, and I miss her, and I just know like there's other folk up clapping their wings right now of this thing continuing on so long, and really cool, and thanks Captain Andy for doing what you do too, and everybody else. It just, Pat was a special soul.
Thanks, James.
I'd also like to just say, yeah, thanks to Captain Andy, because every time he reads, it makes me just really happy. And also, well done to everybody, because it's always putting yourself out there like this that keeps the community growing, right? It's always hanging it out here and saying what you feel that keeps it happening. And that's really important, especially now.
Yeah, I really couldn't agree more. And I want to echo the thanks to Captain Andy for being willing to take this on. I know when I first asked him, he was a little skeptical, but he was game. And I'm so happy that it worked out eventually this way, to follow through all the way to the kind of culmination. And I'm so happy that we were able to do the poetry and that we had so many really wonderful submissions, and I really appreciate everyone who was willing to put their poem in, because it adds so much to this theme of taking care of the earth, which who knew when we opened this the call for this exhibit that we'd end up in this situation that we're in now, which has really given us a new way to think about taking care of the earth and celebrating the earth, because we saw when the world was shut down, we saw what happened to the planet, and to me that really provided a lot of hope, because it didn't take very long before it was visible. And so I think that I'm hoping that will kind of give us as a population the motivation to make some positive changes.
Thank you, Miriam.
Well, I think, Sue, do we have any more business we need to take care of?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody's been recognized for, unless anybody else has any other comments, but
How will it get published? Will they do a press release for this for RiverArts? Yes.
They have extensive.
Well, while I have you here, let me just let you know about a couple things that are coming up at RiverArts. I don't know if you're aware that we're doing a weekly salon discussion on Tuesday nights from 5 to 5:45, and James is pointing at the guest for next week, August 25th, my cousin Olivia Wood, who will be coming to tell the story of an incredible historical find that she was part of, and that we will be revealing more about in the days to come. And tomorrow we have a wonderful guest who's a saxophonist who has been a mentor for the National Music Festival for several years, I think, and is a professor at Syracuse University. And her name is Diane Hunger, I believe is how you pronounce it. And she will be really wonderful. And so I hope that if you can make it tomorrow at 5 o'clock, you will do that. And you can register for that. We send out a Zoom link in the afternoon of Tuesday. And if you go to our website and go to the salon page, you can register to get that Zoom link. And we do something every Tuesday, and it's really nice and interesting, and it's kind of a good time to be able to just stop for a minute and have a conversation that is a little bit more, a little bit more thoughtful, I guess, or on topics that we might not normally be considering in our everyday conversation. So it's really turned into something that I think is nice. And we've had a bunch of special guests, including Meredith Hadaway, who's with us here today, and Mary McCoy, who's with us here today, all the Marys and Merediths. So join us for that. And we have classes coming up all the time, and we will have another exhibit coming in September that we'll do another artist talk for. So I hope that you'll stay tuned to what we're doing and keep participating, because that's what it's all about. RiverArts is for the community and to help build community. And so I hope you'll continue to be part of our community.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. This was lovely.
All right.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great night, everybody.
Take your cursor, leave.
Thanks again, everybody, and our sponsors.
Yes, thank you to Shore Rivers and Echo Hill.
And Ed Nielsen.
And Ed Nielsen. And our judge and our curator and all of our poets.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations to all the poets.
Yes.
Great job.
Thank you.